Welcome. I just ran into a huge problem. And if I keep doing this, I'm going to definitely, I already know, it's certified. If I continue doing what I just did, I'm going to go nuts. What did I do? I just did a video not even 90 seconds ago, and I'm into the next one. And the reason for the next one is because I love the expression of wie geht's? Wie geht's? I may do all my stuff in English and French, but I want to do it in Jewish and German because wie geht's? All them codes during the years of war, holy cow, they're our great-grandparents. Look at them go. Wow, wow. What our great-granddaddies knew. We were that far away from reality, my friends. That's why we're at the end of the pile. They never really called anything in this world the World War. They call it always the battle. Now they call World War I, 1914, World War II, 1939, 25 years. World War III, 1939, plus 75. 75, 25, 25, 75. Don't you see? Don't you see? Jack calls George. 25 is Jack, 75 is George. Jack calls George. Who called who? If we can go into this puzzle, but we're not going to go into this. I'm just showing you how the storyline begins. Draw the line on the crack in the Liberty Bell. Look on Monopoly, there's 2 Pennsylvanias. Look next to jail is Marvin Gardens. 75 years from 1939 to 2014, and 25 years to 2000, 100 years total, 75 and 25. 2 and 5 is 7. 1939, that becomes 3 and 7. There's your 3 and 7, Jen. And then 2014, 1 and 4 is 5. 7, 2, 5, 752. 725, 1.75. 752 is 364. No, 752, 7 by 2 is 14. 7 by 5 is 350, 364. Exactly the number of moons. 1 cycle of moons, 13 moons. 1 1/4 is left over of who you are. And here's the little story. If you have a winner's circle, they call it un cercle, which is a circle, de 20 cœurs, of 20 hearts. 20 hearts in French, or 80, said it the other way, says 80 and 86. Okay? The reason it says 80 of 86, because when you go to horse racing, the minute you reach a 7/8 of a mile, or a full mile, okay, you get 10 gates to run from. In a 5/8 mile, you get 9 gates to run from. In a half mile, you have 8 gates to run from. Man runs a half mile, but his speed is 1/5. 815 equals 120. It says je, or I am. It also says Kansas City inside of it. Why? Because Kansas City is number 35 and 70. 2 times 35 is 70. 70 times 1 1/2, which is the circle or the egg, equals 105, the hand of God. The un tiers, where they say 1 part of, because inside the circle are 4 other circles. It's almost like saying it's, how can I say it this way? There's many ways to see it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there's the center circle that feeds from this circle into the center circle. Okay, you go into the winner's circle. It says cercle, which means circle de 20 of 20 parts. 5, 10, 15, 20 goes into the center is 5 is 25. 25 at 2 sides is 50. Center of the darts. The dartboard equals 210. Reverse numbers 1, 2, 0, because all we're looking for the numbers. We don't care if it's 126 or if it's 612, unless we're going 6 times 12 is 72, and 2 times 16 is 32. But it's all going to fit into the realm of connecting because that's the way the boards move. Also, at the same time, it says second tier, right, which means the second row. But at the same time it says second row, it also says 1/3 of. You're the second row of 3 areas. Why? Because that's the way it works. You're the second row of 3 areas. Second row of 3 areas, okay? Second row of 3 areas. Here's the second row, and here's 3 areas, 3 and 3. Okay, so that's how we ferment with this. The horses, the winner's circle, the batter's box. How can I express it one more time? The 1/3 of, how can I explain it, that these are feeders. We took, okay, they took 1/2 and they cut it in half and they split it. They duplicated exactly as somewhere else. We're just freaking brains. All they need is the memory from spirit. The computer comes in from another world. It is spirit, it is vibration, but it's pulled with the gravitational pull. It can be distorted, but I cannot tell you that whole story. I'm just telling you part of that story, but I would just tell you the basic of what it is. They just basically do it like this. They put the whole vibration of whatever you're getting from your thoughts from another world, and they sort of tweak it a little bit, just twist it just a little bit. So what happens now after they tweak this, that you get it right back into your body, but you're not getting the real vibration. You're getting the secondary vibration. So they have duplicated the board. That's why we're in the B world. That's why it's a bet and a vet. You're a brain. Imagine the information before it gets to you. It's in one of these. And then the vibration continues on into you. They plugged their wire, and then they sent it to you. And it's in you right here. But because we're skin and bones and you can't understand how it's put together like that, it doesn't mean we can't have the imagination that it could exist. And very easily, for sure. For 100% for sure. It's guaranteed. Our eyes are the pyramids. Guaranteed. Our eyes are the pyramids. Go take a look. Go take a look at how they square off and angle our bodies. Okay? And you'll see how we are. Check the dimensions. So now we see that we did this part over here where it's 3, 2, 3. But this is the one dimension. In order to grow the center, okay, in order to grow the center, what you have to do is, hold on a second. Is this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 by 4 is 16. But then it's going to grow again. And as it grows, you see the way this grows in length, but this only stays, this is one square. Every other one is going to be like this. That's how it works. After that, I can't even explain it. I'd have to divide it over here. But now that I have this separation here, I'm going to have to open this up one more time. And this is going to be 9, 9, 9, 9. And then I'm going to need the 9 in the center. Once I put the 9 in the center, it's going to force these areas apart, creating 1, 2, 3, 4 more areas, plus 4, plus 1 in the center. I will have 9 in center of 9, equaling to 81. And that would be exactly the face of this, because each cube is valued at 9, where 9 is 81. Plus, don't forget, the black space in between counts as areas also. Second tier, 1/3. Tier is to shoot. Tier is in maple syrup. When you take syrup and you tire, then you have the gates. The gates is 7 and 8. It's 8s of the gates. And then gate also backwards says cities. And cities, when you go down to New York and you go to Montreal and you go to Toronto and you go to Paris, you're going out to the cities. And when you Pharaoh the land and Pharaoh runs the lands of the Jews, you Pharaoh the land. And the Jews were pharaohed by cities of the cities they built. Of times we know, of words we play, get lost in translation, because once you've had it 1,000 times, it's like, I ain't really missing it just yet. Raphael, 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus, I am.